Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We are playing Alan Wake on Nightmare difficulty, and this is episode 3.1. It's entitled Ransom on the Run. So, this first section here, I have put in fast forward because we're just moving alongside the owner of this trailer park, or the manager, trying to find the waitress who supposedly has Alan Wake's manuscript. So, I just didn't feel like this should have been put in real time, and also I will be speeding up parts of the fleeing from the police in the next few clips as well. So you can see this takes it was like 3 minutes of slow moving, so I decided let's just speed it up, get it over with. Somebody also mentioned that they didn't care if the subtitles were on. I kind of understand that, but I kind of don't for this particular game because, I mean, why wouldn't you want to read them while I'm talking? Either way, though, it doesn't much matter. I just think that they're pretty helpful on a narrative-driven psychological action thriller. I think this game was built as when it was being advertised back in 2010. And I don't know when this game came to PC. It may have been a couple of years later. Hell, it may have been the same year. I don't know. But what I do know, it was made by Remedy Studios, and they're a great company. So I'm also hoping that there is a fundamental need for this particular walkthrough, because just like Dostoevsky said, there's nothing more sad than a life that ends and no one knows or cares. There's also nothing more sad than somebody making a walkthrough and nobody needs it. Or even worse, nobody needs it and nobody cares about it either. So most of the walkthroughs that I do, or the guides as I call them, normally somebody will come around and say that, you know, they were very helpful in the walkthrough, that is, or the guide was very helpful in procuring a victory for that particular individual. Sometimes it's many people coming to me and telling me that, which is even more helpful. So I decided to put this in fast forward, you guys, and some of these downtimes, these down sections, you know, obviously nobody's going to need help with this, but I thought that might as well include most of these sections because it lends a cohesiveness to the project. And anyway, so on this particular chapter, we will be dealing with some more Taken as usual, but this time we'll be fighting some inanimate objects that are now taken. Close my drawer real quick. And this is one of the problems of the guide. So for the past 30 or 45 seconds, I am staring at a black screen. I don't know how to fix this problem. I've asked on the Sony Vegas forums, but it's persisted now for like, what's this? Almost a near minute now. And I have no idea what's happening on the screen because I'm staring at a black screen. So it's just aggravating. But I think most of what I was losing right there was just fleeing from the police still. So anyway, you don't need to go up to this particular watchtower up here, but I did have some footage that I needed to link together. And the first inanimate object I will be dealing with is a gate that has the curse of the darkness to it. So we will come down here, and we do not have a flashlight yet, so we're going to have to be involved in a minor puzzle. This game is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I remember it being pretty damn impressive looking on the 360, but on the PC it's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so there's the gate that we cannot pass through. So we're going to make our way up here. I've ended the fast forward speed for you guys. So we're going to go into this particular rundown shack, turn on the generator, and power up that searchlight. But I kind of get sick of this costume. I wish it changed throughout the campaign. And I wish he would take it off or something. I wish he had different particular wardrobes. I know he's on vacation and he doesn't have that many clothes, but anyway. So it looks like that old generator conked out, as the subtitles mentioned right there. And I don't think I'm going to go forward with that Metal Gear Rising Revengeance project, just because I'm trying to bring fresh content to the channel from now on. You know, I still will bring that Devil May Cry 4 project if I can ever beat Mission 17, but at this time it's looking like it's going to be an impossibility, but I'm still trying. If you're wondering where that particular project was, some people were asking where the project was. It was Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, or Here Today. I haven't deleted the videos, but I've unlisted them, just because I just don't know if there's going to come a point when I'll need to delete them. But for now, I've just decided just unlist them, and we'll see. We'll just take it from there. I'll just keep trying Mission 17 on a daily basis, or every other day of a basis. Can you believe that, though? It's just ridiculous. Like, some things are so damn hard in video games, it's not even funny. And the thing is, I don't need to do anything particularly extravagant on Mission 17 with Dante. It's just beat it. That's it. Just beat the fucking mission.
It took me a moment to recognize the flashbang grenade.
And I can't.
An ideal weapon for my situation.
So here's some flashbangs for us. They will be our primary means of defense over here. And what I meant on that Dante level, a couple of guys scare us as we come down the hill. Flashbangs are, as you can guess, extremely powerful. But on that particular Dante stage, it's just kind of infuriating me, because it's such a simple process. Just beat the goddamn stage, and I cannot yet. You know, the time is perfectly doable. The style points, I'm getting like, well over the style points. And the orbs, I know where all the orbs are. I can't beat it though. Not yet anyway. So as we make our descent here, we are heading towards the radio station, and we're trying to meet up with Mr. Main, whom we met on the ferry at the beginning of the video. You might remember that Alice kind of inappropriately called him that old man or something, kind of rudely. She was referring to that guy. He turns out to be the DJ at the radio station, so we're gonna try to meet up with him, and if he will give us, this part right here, if you move to the right, you can get these enemies in a cluster as much as possible. Try to get these enemies in clusters so you don't have to waste all of your flashbangs. I don't know if they carry over too well, but sometimes you do lose your inventory in this game, which is a little unfortunate. Okay, so this looks like it's one of the sheriffs coming after us. Or not. Maybe it's just some villagers having turned into the Taken. But this game was in development for an unusually long number of years. I read that it was in development for 5 years. So it must have started to be in development in like 2004, 2005. And you don't really see that too often these days, except maybe God of War. I don't know. Uncharted? Yeah, definitely Uncharted. I know that's taken at least 4 years. I always kind of criticize them for taking so long. But, they did make The Last of Us, so their hands are probably full over there. And they make some great games. Naughty Dog does. Like, part of me really wants to go back to playing The Last of Us, because at the time I didn't really like stealth too much, but now I do like it a lot. Okay, one more guy left. he didn't get hit by the flashbang, unfortunately, but that second one hit him, and now we're completely out of flashbangs. But it doesn't much matter because we could probably pick some up later in the campaign. There's a nice checkpoint for us. There's the DJ inside. Maine is his name. So head on in here. And after I've put an edit over here because he takes a while to recognize your presence. But in a second, he'll turn to you after this caller and will actually gain admittance to his office. Well, we're hitting this commentary pretty hard, you guys. I'm coming back here a day later to do this commentary. If Mr. Main liked us before, he certainly doesn't like us now because, as you can see, he wants to kill us. So we're going to flee from his shitty radio station and move forward. This video will contain the bulldozer fight at near about the end of the video. And it took me about 4 tries to do it. It isn't that hard. You're given a lot of supplies leading up to it. And it's not that bad. It's certainly one of the more memorable sections of the game. But we're just going to move forward here, spawn a couple of enemies, probably set down a flare so that I can do this mini game. Start the generator up, and get a checkpoint like usual. So there's the light over there. I think that's called the God Ray, or something like that. And there's a setting to control the quality of the God Ray. And I don't have it up too high. Oh yeah, what I wanted to mention, a couple people were saying that they don't like how the character is positioned on the screen by default either. It's a problem because the character is to the right of center instead of to the left of the center of the screen. And about 99% of games, the character is positioned to the left of the centermost point on the screen. So it's really bizarre that the character defaults to that rightmost position, isn't it? I find it really peculiar why they did that. So the only thing I can think of is that sometimes it enables you to quickly switch your position when you're on the screen. But still, why put it there by default, you know? So I'm making a little bit more progress on that Devil May Cry 4 particular chapter. Oh, this is a pretty hard section. When you come in here, you're going to get all these guys ambushing you, so you want to run away. Just run and gun if you have to. But I've been making a little bit of progress on Agnes. I would say a lot of progress on Agnes. So when I started on mission 17, look at all these guys chasing us. It's one of those things where I think they want you to run. But when I started mission 17, I couldn't get past the second fight. If there was just one fight that was skippable in chapter 17, it would be so nice. But as it is, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 forced fights, and then a boss fight who's easy with Nero. Well, not easy, it's just manageable and just. It's a normal boss. It's a normal fucking boss. And then when you're Dante, I must say though, if I ever beat chapter 17, oh, this part is really bad, and they put the checkpoint down here. This is probably one of those problematic parts for a lot of people as we're trying to reach the train depot. And what's going to happen is all these inanimate objects are going to be thrown at you, and on this difficulty, they take more HP off of your gauge. Or I should say, yeah, that makes sense. More hit points off your bar, your health gauge. And you can't run back because, as you're going to see, I'm going to try to double back where I'm located, only to be met with this part of the bridge raised up, and I can't move. So the only thing you can do here is just, in a desperate manner, shine the light on all these things. And when they hit you, it hits you pretty damn hard, man. I remember on my first campaign through this game, which I was saying before was on normal, but I don't think it was on normal. I think it was on hard. I just don't have the option to play on hard right now because I haven't done. I don't know how the unlocking works, to be honest. All I know is that I wanted to play on the hardest setting, and it's available through the developer options. But I must have been playing on hard because I wouldn't play on normal. Normal would probably be too casual, probably be pretty boring. But these videos are taking a toll on me because it's so long. But the first time I got through the Devil May Cry mission, well, I haven't got through it yet actually. But I couldn't get past Fight 2, then I couldn't get past Fight 3, then I couldn't get past Fight 4, and then I finally, got past all of those parts on successive playthroughs. And there was a point where I could barely take any damage off Agnes, and earlier tonight I got within about 2 hits, maybe 3 at the most, of killing that son of a bitch. And it's just the heartache, man. All I can say is the heartache after that.
No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist.
Okay, so you're gonna spawn some enemies when you try to open the gate, and it's quite a lot of enemies, so you're always gonna want to save like the flares and things like the what's that gun called? Oh, but anyway, we do have some canisters that you can hit over here. You can run around and kite these enemies a little bit and kind of force them to go near these canisters, and then you can hit the canisters, and then after a moment they will burst, and it will cause the light to almost completely take care of all the darkness on these guys. So it's just a few taken. They could have thrown even more at you. This guy's roaring. He's ready to charge. But yeah, Chapter 17, there's just nothing like it. Oh, Devil May Cry 4. Okay, so we're trying to find a vehicle. We'll actually use the vehicle that we find at the beginning of the next chapter. When you come down here, that shelf is going to fall over, and I'm going to run out here, not out of cowardliness, but just because I knew there was a couple more canisters, and I have 0 flashlight batteries remaining, so I need to come out here and try to find 1 or 2 of the canisters that I didn't use. And we're going to try to use some of the resources on the map rather than the ones that we lack. And if you're wondering why I never pick up the thermoses, it's just because it's one of the most pointless collectibles in any game that I've ever seen. So I don't pick them up. And there is an achievement for beating this difficulty, so if you're interested in that, there is one for beating it on, I think, normal, hard, and nightmare. So I'm always really happy to see that, because it incentivizes people to play the game on a harder level. And if 5 years after the release somebody's playing this game, which I imagine is quite a lot of people because it's such a mainstream game. Anyway, so here's the bulldozer. There's going to be a cache of items right over yonder. And the thing about this is it's just an attrition war versus a piece of metal. It's basically what it is. So you want to be shining the flashlight as much as possible on it, using the flares, like running up to it, setting the flares down right next to it, because you don't have to shoot it. All you have to do is destroy it. Inanimate objects, it's just a matter of getting the darkness off of them, and they will flash out and fade away. So I remember this caused me a lot of problems on hard, but here it wasn't so bad. I mean, once you kill that vehicle, just throw some flashbangs, get rid of these guys. It does take a little bit of doing to take that thing down on this difficulty, and I don't think I was aware of that cache of items at first, but I did find it when I was running around. There's another one over there to the right, if you can see it right there. So we're going to pick these up, get in the truck, and then finish this chapter, which has been the first of the two episodes in episode 3. So I will see you guys in episode 3.2. This has been episode 3.1, Ransom on the Run. So you take care of yourselves now.